The Most High wants you to be like a beautiful flower. It is time for you, I heard the word bloom, but to display your beauty like the most beautiful of flowers. Okay? And you can still do that and be humble. You can still do that and be righteous, because beauty is a part of creation. Beauty is a part of serving the Most High. You can be a prophet, a prophetess, a teacher, and be beautiful. You can still be humble. How about that? If you want to be meek, right? You're not out here to hurt anybody. You can still be beautiful and still remain or keep your true spirit of humility. But the Creator already made you beautiful. So you hiding it is not getting rid of it. That's the message. Because it's like you've been hiding it. And this message just came, to me, through me today. I was not planning on doing this video expressing this message. I was watching a video of a woman. Maybe I'll say her name, Vicki Dillard. And I was watching another one of my queens as well. Shavi, can't remember her name. She was speaking about the power of the sun and what it's doing in the universe right now. And something she said in the video made me think of Vicki. And so I saw one of the most recent videos of Queen Dillard today. Saw some of it. And, when messages come up, I have to pause. I got to get the message out. So that's what I did. I didn't even finish the video yet, but her video, but all is well. And I just saw something that reminded me of the Ten Commandments. Praise the Most High. That's the Ten Commandments ring right there. And I was looking at how Miss Dillard, she had like flowers in the background, like of her video. And she was starting it, I think it was a live. She was starting the video. She kept like adjusting the flowers. And I'm just looking at her like, okay, all right, it's cool. She feels like this is really important, right? So she's adjusting the flowers and she's like, greetings, everybody, greeting everybody who's coming onto her live. And I love to see the queens, I love to see the kings, our divine, children of the Most High, children of the Sun. Just any of the chosen people, whatever your hue, whatever, if you're chosen, you're divine. I just love, just seeing the light and seeing people shine. I've always been like that. But this is part of the heart of the message. The Most High wants you to stop hiding your light and your beauty, right? So I was watching her and I'm like, she is really adjusting these flowers. Like, it's really important, right? So she's moving it because she wanted to, display a certain way. Right. And I'm sweating. All is well. It is what it is. These materials. We got to get some natural cotton, materials. But anyway, so she was displaying, her flowers and things like that. And she poofs her hair out and makes it look like a certain way that she wants it to look as well. And she has her nails, and I love beautiful nails. These are my natural nails. It's a whole thing. I stopped wearing nail polish like probably a few years ago, maybe temporarily, until I can find some that are like more natural. That's probably another video. There are natural nail polishes, which I have, but it's just, I am a person who's very keen on ingredients, what goes into the body, whether it's glues and paints and things like that. Um, Even as far as like makeup and stuff like that. Not saying that all the makeup that I have is like natural, made of like the best, materials yet, but it's very important, like what goes into your scalp, what goes into your body, and things like that. So I've kind of paused a lot of the beautification things that I used to do, especially when I was younger, especially like my teens, 20s. I used to be, with my best friend back in the day. We would like hang out, as the phrase goes, and whether we were going out dancing or like to a quote club. I didn't go clubbing like a lot, but occasionally if I was visiting somebody, and we were like going out to club, we'll do that. Sometimes we would have dances like in our religious, organization. Oh, we're going to this thing. We would have like once a year or whatever. We can go to that. We dress up, they say to the nines, baby. Okay. Like I love sparkly things. I love, like all the little girly stuff. Like I just love, all that stuff. And I used to do a lot of that. I used to get my braids done. I mean, you could do a lot with like, of course, like natural hair and stuff like that. So I'm like more into that these days, because that's also a part of showing the beautification of what, the Most High is giving you. Um, but I used to be so much more into that. Part of it could be because of my age, like I said, teens, 20s, when you're that age, you're looking for something, a mate, you're looking to, have children. Like I have children already, I could say I've quote been there, done that, if you will. It's just beautiful. And even my children are beautiful. Sometimes I look at them, I'm just like, wow, But this is the heart of the message, is what I'm saying. Even me as a mother, say, looking at my children and appreciating their beauty, inner beauty, outer beauty. I'm like, yeah, I was a part of that, creation. They're so beautiful. And it makes me happy. And it's like the Most High expresses happiness in seeing you happy and seeing you beautiful, because the Most High created you. You're the Creator's child. And when you display your beauty, the Creator gets glory in that. Do you understand? Sometimes people, I'm walking down the street, going places with my children, and people just comment, wow, they're so beautiful. It's just like, it makes me smile as a mom, and it makes them, they're like, okay. They're just like, they don't really think about it like that at the ages that they are. But maybe they will as they start to, get older. They're starting to get into that, age range where they're like, okay. But it's just nice. And it's something about that. We can say it's vain, right? And this is what I'm getting to, right? We can say, we're chosen ones. We should cover up. We should be humble, because we equate both of those things together. Usually, cover up, be humble. Don't show. You don't have to show. We're not talking about showing everything you have. Okay, we're not talking about that. We're talking about this in an appropriate way, right? But we equate, generally, humanity equates humility with hiding beauty. And sometimes that could go together. And sometimes it does not. What I was saying, so I said a couple of things. I talked about Vicki Dillard. I talked about how I was when I was younger. I used to be, like I said, way more into the appearance and things like that. That is sometimes when you're into the quote 3D, which is our physical world, right? Which I have been so metaphysical the past 14 years, okay, since 2012. I am an upgraded, more spiritual version of who I used to be these days. And I have not really been into major, I would say here and there, but major beautification, if you will, since then. Probably since the beginning of this channel. I think I started my channel in 2012. As a matter of fact, I know I did. My birthday month, August, which Lord willing is coming up. Yay, next month. And yeah, so that was the beginning of my more spiritual journey. I had a vision. I was fasting. And I had a vision that everything is God, that I'm God as an avatar who took on the form of a human being, as a woman, as an African American, with the whole thing, and everything that that entails. And that changed my life. It was revealed to me, my spiritual identity, that I'm a very high ranking spiritual officer, if you will. Yeah. The avatar of God, not an avatar of God. No, it is what it is. Um, what they say is not bragging if it's true. I don't know. It could be bragging. Generally speaking, if someone says certain things that are just ostentatious and true, but it's not always. Sometimes it's just true. It was revealed to me, my spiritual identity, and it's very high in the spiritual realm. It just is what it is, and if it's the will of the Most High, that will be revealed one day. Perfection not required. Sweaty underarms and everything. And actually, I don't even feel that sweaty. It's the material. It's like so. Anyhow, when my spiritual identity was revealed to me, when the truth of humanity and what this physical reality was revealed to me, that everyone is God, everything is God experiencing itself as an image, etc. When that was revealed to me, I was like, oh, wow. I'm like on the mountaintop like Moses. I'm like, and I've been living on the mountaintop for probably like 10 years. I'm coming down from the mountaintop, and I started expressing some of this even on my I have a metaphysical channel. It's called Solar Alignment, SOULAR, solar. Play on the word solar from the sun and your soul, right? So solar alignment. And please go check that out if you want to get more into the metaphysics. This was supposed to be my music channel, and some other things, but yeah. So that's like my talks and like BatiYah. This is my BatiYah channel, like my more 3D physical self. But solar alignment is more of my metaphysical. It's supposed to be more of my metaphysical. Sometimes they blend, but that's how that goes. And so that's where that channel and everything was born. But during that time, when it was revealed to me who I really am, what life really is in terms of God's experience of itself as, quote, people and everything. Everything is God. Everything is God. Doesn't mean that you're no longer, I don't know, Christian, Hebrew, man, woman. Like, it means you're playing a part. It means that you were not created as a separate being from source. Yes, you are a child of God, but even the child is the literal extension of the parents. That child is you. Your children are you. They appear in a separate body, but there's only one being, it's only one character, and it's all God. Right? And that's what I learned firsthand, not through a book, anything, not through anybody's videos. Nothing wrong with that. But I had that understanding because I had an entire experience with the universe directly, and it was underneath of the sun, literally, because I was outside when it happened. But I was fasting; it was a whole thing. And so when it happened to me, that was the only thing that was important to me. Or that took precedence. It was like, oh my gosh, wow! And I was just fasting more and more and more. I wanted to be free. I just wanted to just dwell in that presence of the Most High, right? Forever and ever and ever, right? If you will, right? But we incarnate for a reason. You're a human being for a reason, right? Like human beings love beautiful things. Like we love beautiful things. We incarnate for a reason. God creates this dream to experience these wonderful, beautiful things for a reason. And as I was watching Vicki Dillard in her video, and how important her hair and her makeup and her nails were, her jewelry, It reminded me of me, right? This is what we do. We manifest ourselves in different people. Like you looking at this video, you did the same thing because perhaps something in this video you needed to see about yourself. Have you been hiding? Have you been hiding your glory, your beauty, whether you're a man or woman? Because see, men do this too. I have a special message for the men as well. And we're gonna get to some scriptures as well. Exodus 28 talks about the beauty of the priest's garments. You can be holy, righteous, and beautiful and fine. Period at the same time. The creator created you fine. You could be humble about it, but like we're human beings. Like the physical is a part of this experience as well. This is part of the message. We have to learn how to like meld both of these worlds together. In the world, not of it. Like you don't have to allow it to define you, but you don't have to totally push it aside as well. The creator's not like pushing aside the beautiful sky. When the sun rises and it sets, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The creator's not like, oh, that's just too much for people to see. What? The creator's like, let me show you these hues. Okay, let me show you these hues. Like heart can't change all that. You know, if you know, you know. They can't change all of the glory of the Most High. Nobody can do that. The Most High's magic extends past any other magician. If you know, you know. Praise the Most High. Okay, clock that. Map that, chart that in the universe. I mean, look at this. This is a beautiful backdrop of the universe. I love the universe. And it's beautiful. Everything that the creator created is beautiful. Not like that, but it should say in the scriptures, and it was beautiful. And it is good, and it is beautiful. It's got to be. If we break down the Hebrew, and there's got to be some kind of word for beautiful in that word good. I don't know if it's told, but I have to look at it. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, it's another video when you start breaking down the Hebrew and stuff. But I'm just saying, all that was created was it, and it was good. But that word good, you know, we use that word good as just like it's regular. No, it's more to that word. That the creator created in the beginning. It was magnificent. You are magnificent. That sunset is beautiful. And you are a part of the creation that has been created. So why are you hiding your beauty? Why? Because you intimidate people. Be beautiful. Because they're beautiful too. Because me looking at Vicki Dillard's video didn't make me hate on her. I'm like, I'm beautiful. Praise the Most High. No, just hear me out. I used to do that. I used to care about beautifying myself like that. This is what I was just thinking. I'm like, because I'm in my mind, like I said, I've been on my fasting journey and on and on. I'm not fasting now necessarily. I've been low carb. It's just a whole thing, right? And so when you lighten up these foods, it's like that physical reality becomes just less important. It's like, I'm here, you know, I'm living, you know, I take care of my family, I take care of myself, I do the day to day, I give my message, I do my thing, right? But I'm passing through. It's like sometimes the more wisdom you have, the more spiritual wisdom, you know, the more it kind of can pull a person away from some of these physical things, right? And that's just a journey that I've been on. But I'm just looking at her and I'm like, she really thinks this is really important. And I'm looking at her and I'm loving just her vibe and her beauty and just how important she felt that just displaying these flowers and how they looked to people and made her look and made her backdrop look, how important she felt that was. And then I started to think, as I was looking at the video, I'm like, why does she think that's so important? I'm sorry, but this is how I was thinking. Why is that so important to her? Because sometimes there's certain days where I have to keep it real. As a spiritual being, you can look through some of my videos. I mean, I try to put myself together, but if I have a spiritual message, it's coming through. Okay. Makeup, no makeup, like it's coming through. But I was just tapping into a part of myself, like, you know what? Maybe it is. Maybe that is something that I can focus on a little bit more like I used to. You know, because the creator did make me beautiful. You know, I'm just saying. Praise the Most High. It's not vain. The Creator made you beautiful. First of all, I think that everybody's beautiful. And particularly as you get healthy and as you get healthier, your beauty will shine more and more and more. I think every being is beautiful. Now, some you could say are, maybe more beautiful than others, depending on your taste or whatever. But the healthier you are, the vibrant, the energy, and then when you put yourself together, you're beautiful. Everything the Creator created is good and beautiful now. Come on. So we're going to go to Exodus 28 for a moment, right? And show you, prove to you, remind you, because you may already know that being righteous and beautiful physically, literally can go together now. Okay? Because you knew this already, but we just need a little reminder. I needed a reminder. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. And take thou. We can go back maybe to Exodus 27 and 21. In the tabernacle of the congregation, without the veil, which is before the testimony, Aharon and his sons shall order it from evening to morning before Yah. It shall be a statute forever unto their generations on the behalf of the children of Israel. And take thou unto thee Aharon thy brother and his sons with him. So his children too now. Okay. So they were a high, a priestly lineage. This was through the family. Take them from among the children of Israel. Take them from among the people now. Now, the people are already chosen. So, yes, they're going to be some chosen ones. They're going to be some prophets, some prophetesses, some teachers, some divine chosen ones are going to be pulled out to be prominent in the community. Take them from among the regular chosen beings, that he may minister unto me as a go-between between the people and me, right? In the priest's office, because that's what they do. They go between the Most High and the people. Even Aharon, Nadab, Abihu, Eleazar, and Itamar, Aharon's sons. Okay, so this is a family thing. It's a family affair. It's a family affair. All right, in a good way now. Okay, so we're talking to you and your children. Be beautiful. This is the message now. Now listen. Okay, Exodus 28 and 2. Now they have already been separated from the regular people. Now these are priests unto the Most High. And then the Creator said, and thou shalt make holy garments. Okay, so these are chosen garments. These are the holy garments wouldn't be sweating through your through your shirt, because they would be made of like the natural materials, right? And thou shalt make holy garments for Aharon thy brother, for glory and for what? For beauty. For glory and for beauty. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aharon's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. So Aharon's garments, his children's garments, all that are beautiful. This was instructed by the Most High to be beautiful, not to be hidden. It don't mean you show everything. We understand that there was, undergarments and things like that were meant to cover, the areas that need to be covered. We ain't talking about revealing too much. We're talking about what you present being beautiful, a divine garment. It says for glory and for beauty. So you can do both. You mean you can be a priest and a prophet, a chosen one of the Most High, and be beautiful as well. Yeah. I mean, that's like, if we can't do that, that's like saying, you know, food because it has vitamins and minerals and things that we need, it doesn't have to taste good. We just need to eat it. Like, why do we think it tastes and smells so good? So we want to eat it. Once we eat it, then we get the vitamins and the minerals and the nutrients. Come on now, somebody. I don't know, but maybe somebody need to see your beauty so they can be attracted to that. Because, human beings, I'm just saying, we are vain. Or let's just say that part of us that is divine loves to see beautiful things, because the creator is a literal creator, artist extraordinaire. Not only loves beautiful things, but creates beautiful things. So once you see the food, the smell of food, yeah, you're going to get the vitamins and the nutrients and the minerals, but you're attracted to it by the way it looks, the way it smells. So that's part of your divine beauty as well. The smells, the smell good, and the taste now. Okay. Which is the function of the food. We're going to keep it, right? But which is the function. We're talking about the function of the thing, all right? It's going to deliver the message, right? So you could be the prophet and have the message of the Most High, but you package it in a way where people, human beings are going to see it and be like, whoa, what is this? I mean, even the peacocks, right? My God, the males, they show themselves to the females. They do their peacock thing, ostrich thing, or whatever, all that. There's a part of divine life and nature where a peacock must express itself. It must peacock. Okay. It's time for you to peacock in the most divine and holy way. That's the message. It came to me. I wasn't planning on doing this video right now. This is just what it is. I told you, I was looking at the sister. I said, wow, okay, yeah, I need to make this message. It's for me too. This is, but when I get divine messages, I know it's not just for me. It comes through me. It's also time for you to dress up to meet your bride or to meet your groom. Now, that's a separate message. But it's time for you to get excited about your life. I heard somebody say that back in the day. It's time for you to be excited about your life. This is back in the day. Somebody advertises something. But that's the message that's coming up. That it's time for you, for us, as the Most High's people, the Most High's chosen and elect, and those who may not be of the quote blood elect, but who are a part of the, chosen congregation, who will latch on to that, who those who will do the laws of the Most High and things like that, to start to display our beauty in order to look forward to, in anticipation of meeting the promises of Yah. Because the promises of Yah are coming to the people, and we need to start acting like it. I think that's a part of it too. And even with me, it was like certain things I experienced in my life. Sometimes as we get older, I'm Lord willing, my birthday is coming up next month. I am in my late 40s. I'm almost out of my 40s actually, and it's a wonderful thing. And but sometimes I think part of why some of the appearance stuff and whatever the things weren't as important to me, in addition to like my spiritual journey and going beyond some of that, is that some experiences that I've had in my life. It's almost like I've been there and done that, and I still had the controlling relationship in my life. That's a whole nother, video of why I attracted that, right? Why a person can attract those things and things like that. But the message is that experience and those experiences that you've had that have kind of quote knocked you out of being excited about doing certain things in your life anymore like you used to is the old story. Okay, it's no longer going to be relevant because your story is about to get better, and it's time for us to dress up in anticipation of our divinity. For a long time, the Creator's people have been used to being told the old story. We can say in America in particular, or really all around the world. It seems like melanated ones, in particular, carbon-based beings, are always told, so often told about this slavery stuff. Okay, I even have some of that on my album. Like even my music these days, Lord willing, is going to be different. Okay, my I was playing around in the studio, I think last month or so, and I released a song. It's online, called "There's Love All Around Me." I've got love all around me, and just kind of put it out. I mean, it was like kind of an ad lib vibe type of thing. But I'm these days I'm more into like not the metaphysics, yes, but the speaking things into existence, right? That's all biblical stuff, right? I've got love all around me. Like my first album, Nation Soundtrack of the Exodus, Praise the Most High, is a classic among the people who, one, know me, two, may know about the Hebrew experience or come into it, and who, have heard the music and learned from it and things like that. It was from my heart. I have songs on there written by my parents. Power. I had a dream last night. Now I'm thinking about it. Power, power. That's my father's song. Power in his name. There's power, power, power in his name. I was singing that with all my heart in my dream last night. It's so interesting. My parents must have came through and just, I don't know, maybe told me to do this video. But that album is very quote Old Testament based, and very much about the story of the Israelites, and kind of the old story, but going into the new version. Because I've always, even back in the day, before I had my vision, because we released that album in 2002, I knew that words have power, right? I mean, many of us know that, but we don't always practice it. But I knew, like, if I make these songs and say them in a certain way, they're going to take root, and they're going to, because I wanted certain things to happen in the universe. And I was waiting for certain things to happen. And I was asking the Most High, should I keep waiting for Elijah? Most High said, you need to start speaking. You have permission. I said, oh, well, all right. That's why I have songs on the album, like the song So Hot, We're Rising to the Top. I knew that if these words would be in the people's ears, it's going to come true. We're never going to stop till we reach the top. We're at the top right now. Absolutely. Absolutely. More and more every day. Because see, everything happens in the spiritual realm before the physical realm now. Okay, so it's time for these things to start to be birthed into the physical realm. This is what I'm talking about. It's time to rejoice now. It's time to dress up for what you are anticipating, for what we have been anticipating in our lives for years. So what I'm saying is that first album, Praise the Most High, though it was like my first child, because it was my first offering to the universe, my creativity from my heart, and just a spiritual prophetic message that BatiYah has been used to teach people. And people have told me that they've raised their children to my music, and I've seen people listen to my music even still to this day. We released it 20 years ago. Praise the Most High. Now some people, may never heard of me before, of course, or still learning about the the music or whatever it is. That's fine, BatiYah. But it was a seed. I knew it was a seed, and I made it specifically for the people of that community at the time. I was like, look, whether nobody listens to the album, whether nobody, because I wanted to make love music and all that stuff and romantic thing. And I said, no. Most High, no, I said my father told me to remake his song Power. I told you I had a dream about power last night. My father told me to remake the song Power when I was like in my teens. And I said, okay. We did a little version. One of my best friends, Taisha, hey, what's up, Ty? And we did our version at our community organization or on the Shabbat and stuff like that. We would sing it. And then when I got the opportunity to make an album, I said, I have to put that song on the album. And then when I was thinking about it, I was like, well, I can't just put that song on the album and then make love songs, romantic songs. And I was like, I need to make a theme album, an entire album about the whole story. That's how Nation Soundtrack of the Exodus was born. Because I have to explain everything. So I just started from the beginning. Praise the Most High. But what I'm saying is that album and these 20 years or so have been like Joshua. Like Joshua said, you've skirted this mountain long enough. You have skirted this mountain long enough. Now it is time to move into the promised land. Right? The new song I put out. I got love all around me. Woo. I know you feel it. I've got love. Yes. From my babies to my people. I feel the love in my soul. In my soul, I feel the love from the earth and up above. From the angels to my Holy Spirit. From the Most High. Up above, I've got love. Yeah, right? We got love all around us, family. That's what time it is. And that's time to move into the promised land now. All of that's still relevant, right? We would never take away the, so-called, quote, Old Testament, because that's the foundation. That first album is still a gateway, you know what I mean? Bringing them on in to the identity, right, of who they are, who we are as the chosen ones of the Most High. But now what? Now what? We know the identity. Now we have to do what? We have to live in the identity. Now we have to get into our power. And we're going to be like that rose because we're going to start to express the beauty, the vastness of the Most High's holy garments that were made for glory and for beauty. You were made for glory and for beauty now. So whoever told you you had to hide yourself, I'm just saying, maybe it was just for that time. I'm not going to say they lied. I don't know, but maybe, maybe they did. You're a jewel. You are a jewel. You are a jewel. Okay. So you can be a leader, a righteous person, and be beautiful. So if you happen to be in a religion that tells you that, you need to cover yourself or cover every even your face and all that, this is no offense. I don't know, but I think the Most High is saying, why are you covering the beautiful face that I gave you? I understand that it could be for protection, but that's when we're living in a world where women in particular, men or younger men and children as well, but women in particular, need protection from, wayward people that have no self-control. But we're not going into that type of world. We're not living in that type of community. The Creator is cleaning all of that out. So what if you did live in a safe community? Would you feel like you had to cover everything up? Or would you feel like you want to display the beauty that the Creator gave you? Now I understand. I had a conversation with a woman a long time ago. She was older than me, probably, I don't know, 15, 20 years older. She's a parent of somebody who I used to go to school with. And she told me that she started covering herself up, covering her face, and it was no mandate from any religion or anything like that. She said she just got tired of all the attention she would get walking down the street. She got tired of it. I get it. It's a personal decision. That's a personal decision. However, that was her choice, okay? But what I'm saying is, if it's thrust upon you, we need to question a lot of the agendas of those things, and they will be questioned. We don't have to do it on an individual basis. It will be questioned because some of some of the rhetoric in the Bible, in certain places, and in other spiritual books, has been put there by people who had agendas to keep women down to a certain level, okay, docile, hidden, etc. There is wisdom in being a teacher and being somewhat modest so that you are not too distracting. I understand. I could have, I don't know, not worn pearls or earrings. I don't know, or the makeup or the little glove. I just wanted to for this video. Okay. To make the point. Time to be like the flower. Flowers don't hide their beauty, and again, you can find a degree that is comfortable for you, but that's basically the message. It's just be like the flower. If certain things happen to you in the past where you feel or felt demotivated to present yourself in a certain way, because you've been there, you've done that, maybe it's all is vanity. That's in the scriptures. All is vanity, because it all leads to this or that. The bottom line is to obey the Most High and do the commandments. You're absolutely right. But in that, are we to eat bland food just for the sake of eating? You could sprinkle some beautiful herbs, chop up your onions, sear them, do all the things. The beautiful aroma, that's another thing with the priests and things like that, right? The sweet savor unto the Most High. These are the things that the Most High enjoys, right? Through us, as us. So when you walk down the street and you go to your places, you smell good. We have a natural fragrance. It doesn't have to be made with, the chemicals and things like that. You can do these things naturally. You can find a natural way to enhance your beauty or to highlight it or whatever. I love colors. I'm an artist. Like, I literally paint. I went to school for graphic design and art and things like that. Back in the day, like, I literally love to draw. And that's another thing. I haven't even been doing that as much as I really at all. Really, it's been a while, right? But these are, that's another video. But it's getting out of the quote survival mode so that we can get back into our creative mode, because the creative mode is the God mode. Okay. But this is the mode that the Creator wants you to be in. Creative mode, beauty mode, celebration of life. That even though things in your past have gotten you down or gotten you to a point where you say, oh, why is it worth it? That old story is over, my friend, my chosen one, my child of the Most High. Get ready to be happy, to look forward to your life, because your story is turning around. Our story is turning around, and we're going to be going into the promised land. wherever it is. Right? Some people say, "Oh, it's in, well, it's in America, or the Egypt is here or there." We're going into the promised land, the promises of the Most High. Right? The Deuteronomy 8:18. Remember, Yah, your power, for it is the Most High who gives you the power to get wealth. Right? The promises. When all these things have come upon you, the blessings, the curses, right? When the blessings, right? We dwell on the blessings because those other things are gone. They're no longer the story. The story is you are blessed. You are prosperous. When all these things have come upon you, which they have come upon our people, okay? If you decide to turn back to the laws of the Most High, basically remembering who you are, then what's going to come upon you? Being blessed. And that's going to be your everyday. Isn't that something to rejoice about? When you beautify yourself, remain humble. You could be beautiful and humble. You are doing this to glorify the Most High. Yes, it can attract attention, and it will. And when you attract the attention, appropriate attention, because you can still be modest, you can still, I don't know, wear long things, and wear, anything ain't got to be tight, anything, or whatever. You ain't got to be showing all your body, whether you're a man or a woman. But when you attract this attention, bring them to the Most High. The Creator didn't say, make the priest's robe drab and boring. Said, made it holy and beautiful. They had bells, pomegranate, all kind of stuff. Ephods, all kind of beautiful things. We are a beautiful people, and we can do that. And so this, like I said, this message is for me as well, because these messages come through me, and I do my best to honor the Most High's gifts and instruction, and to put the message out to the people. I feel like it was something else I wanted to say. Yes, thank you. BatiYah, Vashti, and Queen Esther. Just a little bit about the story. Basically, we know, right, that even though this was not a Hebrew nation, I think it was a Persian king. Even though Queen Esther was a Hebrew, but it wasn't based on the desires of the king to see, his concubines and all beautiful. He was not a Hebrew man necessarily, but this is still, a scriptural story where this woman who beautified herself for an entire year, like she had a whole thing going on. They had a whole like ritual beautification like system. Okay, 6 months we do this. The next 6 months we do 3 months of that we do this. We get the smell. I mean, we just bake it all in. We heal you, like inner, outer. Like the next 6 months, you know what I'm saying. We do all the things, so that at the end of that year, you're gonna be ready and present yourself to this king. And she did all that, and she did what? She saved her people, because she utilized her beauty as part of her gift, part of her power. Now, people in attempts to control women can say, they can read the scriptures of the women, tinkering in the toes, with their looking glass. Let me see, tinkering. Let me see if I can find that. Toes. Women. Bible verse. Which one was that? And try to, tinkling with their feet. Isaiah 3:16, right? Where the Lord describes the women of Jerusalem as haughty, walking with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. Let me look at every man. Let me look at it. We ain't talking about all that. Calm down. Okay. Like, do men not realize that a woman can be beautiful, get attention, and still be dedicated to her husband, or dedicated to the Most High? I mean, the woman is beautiful anyway. You can still want to like hide her and all that. She's still beautiful because she was made that way. Period. Whether she put makeup on or whatever, she's still gonna be beautiful. Somebody's gonna notice it. Believe me. But if she wants to beautify that, like either you have a good woman or you don't. Okay, I want to finish this point, and there was another point I wanted to make to the men. But describes the women as haughty, walking with stretched forth necks, wanting eyes. Let me see who I can manipulate with my beauty. We ain't talk about that. We're not talking about Jezebel type energy. Like they're not equated necessarily. Now, some women do want to do that Jezebel and control men or whatever, people in general with their beauty, and they want to get, I don't know, negative things. Whatever, I don't know, whatever. We talk about bringing them to the Most High and still being modest, but just displaying yourself, your natural beauty that the Creator created. Okay. As we know, this is a little plastic room. We're not going to talk about that. You get the point, right? The things that the Creator makes are beautiful naturally, including you. And it's time for you to display that to the degree, that you feel comfortable, but, you're going to brighten up somebody's day just with your beauty now. I'm just telling you. Then when they come to you, then you're going to get them the message of the Most High. Oh, my goodness, today. Okay. This imagery refers to the sound of anklets and other ankle jewelry jingling as they move. Jewelry and stuff. I used to be so much into like just garments would go and to the congregations, and I remember just being so excited to like buy like outfits and it's just been so long since I've like really felt like that. But I think the Most High, even when this message is just telling me, it's okay, BatiYah, I made you a woman. Like, you can be beautiful. It's okay. And you're still my daughter. You can still be a righteous woman. Because everything I made is beautiful. I'm beautiful. See, God is beautiful. But how are we going to see God's beauty unless it's through us? How are we going to see God's beauty unless it's through the things, the people that the Most High made? Right? Like when I look at my children, I'm like, wow. Like that's a reflection of both myself and their father. And I look at them and I'm just like, y'all are some beautiful children. BatiYah. Healthy, wealthy, and wise. That's what we pray. Over our children, over our families. We pray for health, wealth, beauty, wisdom, understanding, and just having a wonderful life here. That's why we're here. Right? That's why the Creator has expressed itself as you, to have a wonderful life. Okay. So they will use this verse in Isaiah 3:16, some people to control women and say, see, they hardy, they just too much. And I've heard men even talk about, they be making all this money and they just think that they all this and that. We could, but yet, talk about the Proverbs 31. Which one is it? Could I be Proverbs 31 woman, or which one? Because she was rich. She was making moves. She made decisions. And I'm sure she was beautiful. And I'm sure she owned that. And I'm sure she was righteous. And more than likely, very humble. She took care of her family, children. She loved her family. She also knew about finances, all of that. And I'm sure she knew how to take care of her husband in terms of the part, playing that part as a wife, which we need to redefine in many ways in this society to allow women, not just allow, but for women to take up the space that we naturally are. We are the universe. Everything comes from us. Yes, the man plays his part, but he is contained within that feminine. Okay, he is an outward expression of a portion of the feminine. The feminine is the source from which all comes, including the feminine creator. Feminine. They're both together now. When you say feminine, you're not excluding the masculine energy. This is the thing. But when you just talk about the masculine, you are excluding the feminine energy. So that's another thing I'm on right now. This is how I was enlightened as well. Because as it was shown to me who I am and my spiritual identity, which is a very, like I said, praise the Most High, high-ranking spiritual position. I said, well, wait a minute, I'm a woman. They don't even know. I mean, they know I'm a woman, but they don't know. They don't know. It has not been revealed, exactly everything. And wow, when they find out, if it's the will of the Most High, when the world finds out, wow. I didn't even know. But wow, okay, I'm a woman. The avatar of God, the Son, S-U-N, of the Most High. And so we need to not put women in these boxes where we're just like, they just need to just be covered up all the time. They just need to just chill out. Don't be too much. What you mean don't be too much? What you mean? You gonna tell it to the universe? What you mean? What you mean don't be too much? What are we saying right now? Mm-mm. You would never say that to the Most High. Don't be too much. What you mean? Be more. Be all that you are. Be all, not be all that you can be, right? Be what you are. What you mean? Because like I said, when I was looking at the sister, her being all that she could be in that moment, the most beautiful, okay, that she felt that she could be with the nails. Like I said, I loved the length and everything. This is cute. Like, I mean, just the gloves. I think she had gloves on in that one. Well, she had the sleeve that was like the thumb sleeve thing. Wasn't a glove, but it's like, yeah. So, and it reminded me, like I said, I got stuff I didn't even, it was in a package. Like, what I'm saying is, her being her fullness reminded me of what I had, what I was capable of, what I already had, like what was, you know what I'm saying? So like you being your fullness is not going to turn people off necessarily. Maybe some people, they're not there yet. We're not, we talking about real, recognizing real. You're going to help bring somebody else out there, Shell. You're going to help bring somebody else's gifts to the forefront. Okay. By you being your divine and beautiful self. When was the last time you picked up the artist, paintbrush and palettes and drawing your beautiful pictures and been, quote, too much in the most appropriate way? When? We're not talking about the old story. Whoever told you too much, you think you cute, we're not talking about them because they weren't ready. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about somebody who would be offended by your too muchness. Like, you're brilliant. And in order for you to, one, help other people and, all that good stuff, like you need to bring that out. In order for you to worship the Most High, you need to bring that out and stop hiding it. This is all I'm saying. And again, it could be appropriate. You can still be modest and beautiful. I've seen some beautiful Muslimas, okay? And they had the head covering and all that. You could probably do, like the face covers as well, and all the names, I know the Kimar and stuff like that. But like, I see some beautiful Muslimas, okay? What? Some of those garments. I told these two young ladies it was probably a couple months or so ago. I said, y'all look like princesses. Where did y'all get your garments, I mean, some of these, it was long and just beautiful. They had their heads covered. So, I mean, you don't have to have your hair out if you don't want to. But like, and they look so beautiful. And it made my day. It made me feel good. Just imagine if they were just I'm just saying, just regular, just hiding it. Like, that's what the message is. So again, it's coming through me. Take it as it resonates, as they say. But it's time for you to be excited about your life. And I'm going to cap this off with a message for the men. I think I started off with them. We're going to cap it off with y'all. We women, we love to see a good looking, good dressed man. Okay. Again, you could be appropriate, when you doing your, their Shabbat services or your teaching and all that. You don't have to have everything showing. Talk about having all your muscles bulging out and showing your bare skin. Well, I don't know, whatever. We're not, we want to be appropriate. You can still be dressed nice, or you could be, if you want to be very modest while you're teaching, so you don't distract too many people. That's fine. I'm just saying, but there's just a time and a place where it's like, put it together. Put it together, okay? Men, there are good women out there. You can still dress up, and not only, I don't know, just, it's not even just about attracting people. That's really what the heart of what this is saying. It's celebrating life and celebrating the Most High through your beauty. And in terms of that, I do want to say that there are men who are, let's say they're not living a lifestyle of heterosexual lifestyle. Let's just say, I'm just saying, some of those men, they dress so attractively. Okay, they be having a little, like, they'll have a watch on, but they might have like jewelry, or their hair might be like, I don't know, a certain way, looking nice, or like women like that. Women like that. Like, that is not just reserved for men that's just living a certain kind of way. I'm just saying, like, we need more heterosexual men dressed to the nines. You could be casual, but clean. Put that joint together. Like, don't just be like, I'm married, I'm just regular, my t-shirt and my, like, we want to see a little bit more as women. I'm just saying, this is just a little aside, but like, you can put some jewelry on. Like, think about your heritage. This is to the chosen people, the melanated people. We got that African blood, and look to Africa. Okay, look to Akabulan. Okay, look to Akabulan. Okay, those men are not just regular. Just don't, you know what I mean? Like, when they put it on, they put it on. Whether it's the kings, they drape, they got the material, the crowns, like, but okay, we get that. And just like the everyday, like, look at certain tribes. What's the ones I'm thinking with the red hair and stuff like that? How they had the hair and the beads and the jewelry and all of that. You could do that in a masculine way. Like, so we need to redefine that kind of lane where men, like I said, heterosexual men or whatever, can have a lane where they can feel like they can dress up and dress a certain way and put certain things on, whether it's jewelry, a necklace in a certain way, armband, whatever, an earring. I don't know. I'm just saying, and still feel like a man, and still be attractive. Feel like he's not looked at like, oh, you doing too much type. We as women, we love that too. We don't need to be the only ones that are just putting little stuff on and beautifying ourselves, right? Again, you could do it in the masculine way, you could do it in the feminine way, right? Like, we have different lanes. But like the Maasai, that's what I'm thinking of, the Maasai. Like, they do the hair, they do like, and they all just doing their thing, and they have the masculine way of doing it, the feminine way. I'm not saying you got to do exactly the way they do, but maybe we need to find a lane, the African American version, or whatever it is. But what I'm saying is, just generally speaking, and again, I got the message out. Praise the Most High. You are a jewel of the Most High. Okay, it's time for you to start to appear like the jewel that you are. I made you. says the Most High. And I would like you to reflect who and what I made, because all that I make and made is good and beautiful. Praise the Most High.